He's in my nerves and my brain. I can't get it to stop.
I got arthritis real bad, both knees. Hate going up and down stairs. But when I got trash to take out, I take it up to the 3rd floor, down the hall, all the way down to the alley, just so I don't have to walk past that sumbitch's apartment.
Next time your trash need to go out, you set it right outside your door.
That's sweet of you, Glenda, but no need to.
Oh, Girl, we got to look out for each other.
Okay.
Hello?
$10 million, huh, you fucking kook? How about you leave well enough alone and fuck off back to your rice paddy?
Excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. Can I have your attention, please? I am sorry, but due to safety reasons, I have been told I can no longer allow residents to sleep in the lobby. But after speaking with the owners of the building, for those wishing to remain, I am pleased to inform that your rent will be lowered by 25%. For those wishing to break your lease, there will be no penalty in doing so. Thank you.
Excuse me. My name is Glenda Cleveland.
Yes, I know who you are. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm George Hecker. I helped bring the family over from Laos. They never found a whole body. You know, just parts. Took a while, but we finally raised the funds for this. The Archdiocese chipped in for the casket so we could have a proper memorial.
I was wondering if I could. This is the boy's mother?
Yes.
I don't want to, Maybe I could speak with his father.
Certainly is. I beg your pardon.
Mr. Santhasapan, I'm Glenda Cleveland. I was the one who called the police about your son. I live in the building. I am so sorry. I knew something was wrong. And I never should have trusted the police when they said everything was okay. 'Cause it wasn't.
It's okay.
No, it isn't.
You do everything you can.
I'm here to see Catherine Duhmer. So now, the movie isn't happening. Producers got cold feet, I guess. I don't know if it's even a good idea, you know? But all I ever really wanted to do was to help other parents to, you know, look out for the warning signs. Well, I'd have had Raquel Welch play you, Ma. I know you always liked her. She's been good, too. He really loved you, Ma, in his own way. And you did your best with him, as well as anybody could. You're a good mom to me, that's for sure. Okay. I'll come back see you tomorrow. Hmm?
Oh, one more.
What exactly do you boys think you're doing?
Nothing. We're just having some fun.
Fun?
Sandra, calm down.
This isn't an amusement park. It's my mama's home.
Hey. We are on the sidewalk, which is public property. We're allowed to take pictures. Hey, what the fuck? You had no right to do that!
People were murdered in here. Do y'all get that? Go home. Go.
Sorry, Ma. I shouldn't have lost my temper like that.
Come on, let's get the baby in the house. You all right?
So, Jeff, one of the questions your dad has in the book is, when did you begin to slip?
Is it me, or does he look like he gained some weight?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Dark fantasy.
Must be eating pretty good in prison.
Just couldn't return.
I think it was around age 14 or 15. Started having obsessive thoughts of violence, intermingled with sex.
Was it the killing that excited you? Or was it what happened after the killing?
No, the killing was just a means to an end. That was the least satisfactory.
Just turn it off.
That's why I tried to create living zombies with muriatic acid and the drill.
One of those failed experiments at creating a living zombie was conducted on this 14-year-old boy. Jeffrey had drilled a hole in his head and poured in acid, a crude attempt at lobotomy that none of his victims survived.
You all right, Mama?
It ain't right. I don't know why he gets to go on national TV to tell his side of the story.
I hear you, girl, but maybe if we can understand what motivated him, we can...
I have had it. Living underneath his shadow. This is not some Halloween story.
I know.
This is my life. And who is it?
It's the police.
Yes?
Linda Cleveland,
Yes?
may we come in?
No, you may not.
Your landlord told us we might be able to find a Sandra Smith here. She's your daughter, yes?
I'm Sandra Smith.
Miss Smith, you have the right to remain silent.
What
I didn't
the
do
hell?
anything.
Wait a minute. Why are you arresting my daughter?
Got a complaint from a young man, said your daughter assaulted him and destroyed his camera earlier tonight. He's pressing charges.
What? That young man was trespassing.
Did your daughter assault him and break his camera?
What precinct are y'all taking her to?
District 1 over on State
I
Street.
know where it is.
all that Jeffrey Dahmer stuff.
Morning, Rita.
What? Gold or not?
I want that drill that he like made the zombies with.
Corn buck.
Rita, get me Dean Reynolds at Public Works. Well, whatever that number is, I'm telling you, I'll do 100K over it. Okay? But I get every single fucking item, okay? Yeah, right there. That all of it? You put that down right now. That's my property, asshole. Oh, don't you fucking look at me like that. Your union rep's a dear friend of mine. I'll get your ass fired, you sack of shit. Fucking bury it!
The judge dismissed our claim that the police had a constitutional duty to protect your son. But the city has agreed to settle, conceding that they violated his rights to equal protection under the law. And now the number's not what we'd like it to be. They're offering $850,000, but it's my advice that you take it. That way you can finally move on and start with the healing process.
I'm Joe Zilber. You don't know me. I know the proceeds for the auction were going to go to the victims, but I just couldn't handle the idea that that stuff would be a collector's item, right? So I paid a little more and made sure it was all destroyed. This is your cut of it. Split between 11 families, 32,000.
Hello?
Why don't you take that 850,000 and get on a nice big fucking plane and go back to the fucking jungle, you slanty-eyed piece of shit.
You never call again, or I make you sorry.
What are you two doing?
Hey, Sarge.
I thought you clocked out.
We're just finishing up. Just making a phone call.
Night, Sarge.
So, Kareem, how have you been since our last talk?
Okay, I guess.
Well, you look healthy.
Yeah. Since I tested positive, I've kind of cut myself off from people. I don't go out anymore. Not to the club. Not to visit friends. Even family. I don't know. I just feel ashamed. It's hard to be around people. It hurts too much.
I understand how you feel.
Yo, don't bullshit me.
I'm not. Believe me, I understand. You can't hide in your apartment forever. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to face your fears and start living again.
Glenda.
Mr. Princewell.
Hey. So, you'll be getting an official notice, but I want to let you know that the city is buying the building. And it's being demolished.
Demolished? So they just gonna kick us out?
They're gonna provide relocation expenses for all the tenants. But yes, you'll need to move.
How long we got?
60 days.
And what are they gonna replace it with?
Don't know. I heard maybe a park.
They should do some sort of a memorial, you know, so people don't forget the victims. Something that will honor their memory. That's the least they could do.
I'll be sure to tell them. I'm sorry, Glenda, for everything.
Thank you. You're a good man, Mr. Princewell.
Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus is my plea. You fucking deserve it! You fucking deserve it, man! You fucking deserve it! You don't deserve to be in here! You fucking deserve it!
Mail for you.
But not many of us kept it. There was never enough time. Never the right equipment. In the end, we tried to forget about it. Concentrate on other things. And above all else, make sure we kept our shirt on. Actually, it's not such a hard promise to keep. Not anymore. All you need are three things. Knowledge, desire, and the right equipment. In the next 20 minutes or so, we will take you through what amounts to a college weightlifting class. It is designed to give you a balanced, properly proportioned muscularity and a stronger heart. It will require about 30 minutes of your time, 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Dear Jeff, I'm your biggest fan. I found this card at the local notion store. Pretty cool, right? I read in the paper they tried to kill you in prison. Made me laugh. They'll never kill you, man. You're like Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger now. Jeffrey Dahmer will never die. Can you send me an autograph? Enclosed is a return envelope. Merry Christmas. Love, Dave.
So you've never done construction work before?
No. Well, like I said, it's just stuff around the house, helping Mama, you know.
Well, don't sweat it. There's nothing to it. And honest to God, you got the right build for it.
Oh. Well, thanks.
Just come inside, answer a couple of questions, and don't even think of it like a job interview, okay?
What's that smell?
Oh, you know, probably a dead raccoon or something down in the crawl space. Here you go.
What's this?
What the heck do you... It's an RC Cola. The heck's wrong with you?
Sorry. Thanks.
Yeah. So, you're looking for full-time, part-time?
Oh, I mean, I'll take as many hours as you can give me, you know.
Just depends on what you want to do. PDM stands for paint, design, and maintenance, so, you know, all kinds of work to be done. You go to that bar a lot? Because I've never seen you in there before. Here. Let me show you something. You Catholic? The only knot I remember from Boy Scouts. Tourniquet knot. Gets real tight, don't it? Your hand will turn purple, I leave it like that. Hey, look at me. I want to show you a trick. Come on, man. Quit struggling. You do not want to piss me off. Trust me.
Please, God. Please, oh, please, God.
God can't help you. I'm God.
Prison authorities in Illinois are preparing to execute one of America's most notorious serial killers. A federal judge on Wednesday ruled that the execution of John Wayne Gacy can go forward. He is scheduled to die by lethal injection on May 10th, giving the confessed murderer just 2 months more to live after a legal battle that has gone on for more than 14 years. Here now with more is Frank Courier.
It was 1978. The world first saw the horrifying images of body bags being pulled out of John Wayne Gacy's house near Chicago, and of Gacy, later convicted in the torture murders of 33 young men and boys, condemned to die.
Thank God you're finally gonna fry that guy. You do something like that, you don't deserve to live. Man's gonna burn in hell and not fast enough. He's the worst of the worst.
He's not the worst.
Who's worse than him?
My neighbor.
Oh.
You ever smell a dead body, Linda?
No.
I have. Jeff was cooking them up next door. Smell came right through the vent into my house. Can't get it out of my nose. That smell.
The fuck? Sorry. My friend's sitting there. Fucking fucking Looney Tune, motherfucker!
Calm down.
$50 for your autograph? No way.
Come on, man. This gotta be worth at least what? $100? That's gonna be a collector's item. I'll give you a discount. Hey, I'll throw in some of these porno pics these girls have been sending me. I got no use for them.
Porno pics?
Pussies hanging out, everything.
Okay, JD.
All right, fellas. Don't get mad just because I'm getting a little sun today.
Yo, I'm tired of your disrespect, Duhmer.
Disrespect?
Man, you're a fool. Your fucking sick-ass joke selling your autographs like you some kind of celebrity or something. You think prison is a game? You think we here for your fucking amusement?
Hey, man, I didn't mean any disrespect. I'm just trying to pass my time, same as you.
You ain't the same as me. I've atoned for my sins. Whatever you did to get in this joint, it's clear that you got zero remorse. I'm a Christian, and I find your behavior offensive.
Okay.
Stop being an asshole and quit with your fucking games, all right?
Garver, let's take a walk.
Jeez.
And why exactly are you doing research on Mr. Duhmer?
I'm not doing research on him. I just want to see what he did to get in here and see what the big deal about him is. Time spent in solitary has put me out of the loop is all.
Well, Mr. Scarver, according to the system, because of your psychiatric condition, your access to certain viewing materials is restricted.
Look, like I told the doctors, just certain food causes me to have these psychotic breaks. You know, bread, refined sugar, and all that artificial crap. Ever since I changed my diet and found Christ, I've been okay. Come on, Miss G. Pretty please.
Began to go wrong for John Gacy. He doesn't know, nor does he seem to care. He loses himself in his paintings.
This is Christ as I see him in myself, and it's monolithic because Christ to me is monolithic. He's all things to all people.
You're not worried about facing God?
Oh, I'm fairly comfortable with him. The Catholic services, I've been a servant for the priest for the last 10 years. I have no qualms about doing that. I've had confession and communion, so I'm at peace with myself.
John Gacy now faces death by lethal injection. Tomorrow night, we'll hear how he's the victim for being found guilty.
Hi. Can I talk to you a sec?
Absolutely.
So, why do you think there's so many of us now?
You mean inmates?
No, I mean, guys like me. People they call, serial killers.
Well, I'm not sure anybody knows the answer to that. Some say it's the interstate highway system, a relatively new invention in the history of this country. You can kill somebody and disappear fast. Dump the body 1,000 miles away. Or maybe it was World War II or Vietnam. Dads coming back from the war, they're traumatized, don't talk about it. They're absent, abusive, they raise troubled sons. There's also the explosion and wide availability of pornography, which wasn't the case until the 1970s.
You believe there's such a thing as just being evil?
I think you could probably guess that I do.
You know, I went to church as a little kid. And then one Halloween, I went as the devil. And something felt good about that. Then I got a little older. And I made an altar to him, the devil. And I was planning on making a life-size one. That's what I was saving a lot of the body parts for. Even in movies, like Star Wars. I always liked the bad guys more, you know?
Well, so did I. Those characters are written better.
Yeah.
What do you really want to ask me, Jeff?
Well, I was watching that John Wayne Gacy on the news. You know, people say we're the same because we both did terrible things. But I really think we're different. I admitted to everything. All of it. And Gacy still says he didn't do it. I wanted the death penalty. And he was saying that he's not afraid to die, because he's made his peace with God. And he's gonna go to heaven. So, I guess my question is, do you think God's forgiven him for all that?
Are you asking about him or about yourself, Jeff?
I don't think I deserve forgiveness for what I done.
Well, it's not about deserve, Jeff. That's the thing about grace. We don't deserve it, but we get it anyway. You know, Jesus wasn't alone when he was dying on the cross. There were two criminals that were being crucified with him. And one of them said to Jesus, kind of making fun of him, he says, "Hey, if you're the Son of God, why don't you save yourself and save us while you're at it?" But the other one, he shouts this guy down, says, "Hold on, you and me, we're criminals. We're getting what we deserve. But this guy, Jesus, he didn't do nothing wrong." Then he says to Jesus, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." And so Jesus turns to him, and you know what he says? He says, today, you will be with me in paradise. Jesus didn't ask him what he'd done to get crucified, didn't ask him if he was sorry. All this guy had to do to be saved was to believe that Jesus was the Son of God.
And let us not forget, Heavenly Father, that you are a loving, merciful, and just God. And we ask that we may practice mercy and forgiveness in our own lives as you have shown mercy and forgiveness to us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. And Sandra?
She's good. About to have a second baby.
Praise the Lord. Boy or girl?
We don't know yet. We fixing to find out next week.
Well, give her my best when you see her.
I will.
So, why'd you want to see me?
Well, Pastor, what you said in your closing prayer today about forgiveness, showing mercy. I mean, I know it's the Christian thing to do. And we all have fallen short. And at some point or another, we all deserve grace. But when it comes to Jeff Duhmer, I can't forgive him. Even though there may be something wrong with his brain, or he couldn't control himself. I can't. My heart is full of hate. Revenge. I thought him being in jail for the rest of his life would be enough. It's not. I want to see him suffer. I even have nightmares about it. And I see myself hurting him. Giving him pain. Making him beg for mercy. I'm scared, Pastor. I'm so scared. I just wish I could get past these feelings, you know, that I could stop living in vengeance. That I could get to a better place. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not forgiveness, but something close to it. Because if I keep letting hate and anger consume me, I'm not gonna know myself no more.
You have a big heart, Glenda, which can be both a blessing and a curse. And you have every right to feel those feelings and think those thoughts.
But how do I make them stop?
You can't. You can't. All you can do is pray for strength and ask for God's guidance every day. And perhaps come to church a little more often.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen overnight. It just takes time. And then one day, maybe a month from now, maybe a year, you'll see Jeffrey Dahmer's face somewhere, and you won't feel a thing.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Jeff.
How you doing?
Hey, good to see you.
You too.
You look good.
Thanks.
You look healthier.
I do?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the pills they got me on. They give me that Prozac.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you think it helps?
Yeah, I think it helps even me out. There's no booze in here. I think that was a lot of my problem.
Yeah, I think so too. You miss it? The drinking?
Oh, every hour of every day.
Yeah.
So, it's probably good I can't get any, you know? Yeah, I was thinking about you and Sherry. You guys should, maybe go on a vacation with all that book money.
Oh, yeah, the book. Book didn't do so well, Jeff. The reviews were good, but yeah, I understand why. I think a lot of people thought that I was trying to profit from the victims and whatnot. You know, it's not true, but what are you gonna do? It's probably cursed from the beginning. So,
Yeah. Something I gotta tell you, Dad. Something I'm planning on doing. I want to get baptized.
Jeff, that's wonderful, son.
I thought you'd be happy. Only problem is I don't got a baptismal tank in here, and, well, I still gotta find somebody to baptize me.
It's just, that's so great. That's so great.
And you know, baptism's all about washing away all your sins. God forgiving you is one thing, and I know He could do that, but, I guess what I wanted to ask you, Dad, is if you could ever forgive me.
I will. I'll forgive you, son. I do. I have. Because you're my son.
Yeah. That's good. Thanks, Dad.
Hey there.
Glenda, thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. You loud folks sure know how to throw a wedding.
Please, sit. Whiskey?
Oh, no, I'm good.
It's tradition.
Okay. That is strong. Better not have too many of these, or you might not even remember your son's wedding. I'm really happy for you, Suntan. You and your family deserve this, especially after everything that's happened. Today's a good day.
I try to be happy for my family. I smile. I try to be strong. I keep waiting to feel like myself again before. It just gets worse. Because every morning I get up and I remember Jeffrey Dahmer is still alive. But not Kunrak. Not my son.
I get it. Maybe the best we could do is just keep pretending to be strong. And eventually one day, maybe we'll forget we're pretending. Come on, Suntan. Let's get out on this dance floor and show them how it's done.
Duhmer versus Jesus. Is this for real?
It's the newest issue in his Jeffrey Dahmer series.
Just when you thought folks couldn't stoop any lower.
It's sick. It's like they're making him into a superhero.
Freedom of speech, my ass.
I know, girl. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure who should be offended more, us or Jesus.
So what do we do?
Say we file another lawsuit.
But we lost the last one. Aren't we just gonna lose again?
There's a chance we might.
Then is it really worth it?
Are you saying that we should just forgive and forget what Dahmer did? And allow these folks to continue to profit off of him?
Why expend all that effort to file another lawsuit if at the end of the day we lose again in court?
Because it makes a statement. It reminds people that Jeff Dahmer isn't a superhero. He's a serial killer. It also reminds them that our sons weren't just Jeff Dahmer's victims. They were real people. They lived. They sang in the choir, loved to dance, teased their sisters. They were young men who had hopes and dreams for the future. And mothers who loved them. So even if we lose in court, if we can manage to get that point across, we win without winning.
I know I'm not gonna read this, but I hope Jesus whoops Jeffrey Dahmer's ass.
Don't look right at it. Put these on.
Thanks. Really makes it hard to doubt there's a God, doesn't it? Total eclipse of the sun. The hour John Wayne Gacy's executed. Same day, Jeffrey Dahmer's baptized.
We use this for rehabbing injuries and whatnot. Will this work?
Yeah, I believe it would.
Huh. Anything else you need?
I'm sorry, you're giving me everything I'm asking for. I thought this was going to be a lot harder.
Religion pacifies.
You know, Warden, I spoke to him, and I'm going to tell you what I told your chaplains here. Dahmer wants to be saved. It is genuine.
John Wayne Gacy, do you have any last words?
How about you all kiss my ass? How's that for last words?
Where you going, JD? I'm getting baptized.
Yeah.
Someone made that for you.
Yeah, nice, right? Some lady in Oklahoma.
Motherfucker, man.
Jeff, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit for the forgiveness of sin.
I don't know what to do. God Almighty, Heavenly Father, you got to talk to me. You got to tell me what to do.
Official time of death,
1258. Welcome to the family of God. Congratulations, Jeff. You're saved.
Thanks. Thank you.
Come here, Lord, please. Just tell me what I gotta do. Do it.
Work duty.
So, JD, what you gonna do with your 25 cents an hour? Blow it on porn or cigarettes?
Don't know. Probably just give it to the church.
Well, that's fucking lame.
You got me.
I'm just fucking with you, man.
Work duty. Hey, guys are getting some help this morning.
Sure. Fine by me.
I'm gonna clean the locker rooms. You wanna let me in?
Okay.
Jesse?
What'd you do to him?
Don't cry for him. Dude murdered his wife, stabbed her in the face 5 fucking times, and tried to pin on 2 black guys. Ain't that some shit? But ain't nothing compared to what you did, though, Duhmer. So you didn't just murder them. You desecrated their bodies and cannibalized their flesh. Answer me, Duhmer! Did you really eat their flesh?
Yes.
14-year-old boy.
Yes.
What made you do it? Did you enjoy it?
I was lost. I turned away from God.
So you believe in God?
Yes, I do. I've returned to God. I feel changed.
I believe in God too. But my God is a God of vengeance. He punishes evil. Been in it for a long time. And when he can't do it himself, he sends in vessels to execute his justice. The Lord spoke to me, Duhmer. He asked me to punish you for all of them innocent lives you took and them families you destroyed. You may convince yourself that God has forgiven you. But you can never escape God's wrath. It always catches up with you. Always. See, Duhmer, I'm his vessel. Understand?
Okay.
You like seeing a man in pain, didn't you? And that 14-year-old boy, you did them horrible things to him.
I drugged him first so they wouldn't feel anything.
Well, Duhmer, you about to feel every second of this. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Hello? Speaking? Oh, no. Okay, we'll be right there.
Mr. Duhmer?
Is he okay? Can we see him?
Just, I'm afraid it's bad news.
What?
I didn't say a thing, did I?
Mr. Duhmer, Miss Flint.
I don't understand. Jeff's body's been cremated. They sent the remains to Sherry and me 2 weeks ago.
Half his remains. The other half went to me, okay? His mother.
After your son was killed, there was, of course, an autopsy. And when they do that, you know, the body is kind of...
Dissected. Lionel knows all about that. He's who kind of sparked Jeff's interest in the subject.
You're a piece of work, aren't you, Joyce?
Guys, could we... The brain was removed to determine the cause of death. Now, Miss Flint feels that we have an opportunity here for something good to come out of all this. Scientists at Fresno State University would like to study Jeff's brain.
Hold on. I don't understand. Where's his brain been all this time? I mean, where is it now?
Madison. In the pathology lab at the University of Wisconsin.
No way. No way.
Lionel, please, just listen for once.
He wrote a will. He said he wanted to be cremated as soon as possible. His whole body. You know, his brain's part of his body, okay? He said no open casket, no funeral, no headstone, no marker.
If you care so much about Jeff's wishes, why'd you have a memorial service for him then?
It was just a few family friends.
But not his mother.
Okay, the brain should be cremated. It should have been when the body was.
We have a chance here, Lionel, to find out why he was the way he was. Was it something he was born with? Maybe there was a small tumor somewhere?
Well, I think each of us has our own idea about why Jeff was the way he was, don't we?
Stop it, shame on you.
You know, they just did this very same thing with that John Wayne Gacy. They took out his brain and they made slides and whatnot, and you know what conclusion they reached? Perfectly normal. Well, that's what they're going to say about Jeff's brain, too.
How do you know?
Answer is no, Joyce. Never going to happen. No, I think we need to try to put this behind us. Quit dragging it out and just, you know, move on.
Mr. Duhmer, this is something that Mrs. Flint will choose to pursue in court.
Yeah, I bet you will.
If you be good, I'm gonna let you watch cartoons when we get home, okay? All right. Let's see. I got Oreos, Chips Ahoy, and
Cookies.
Okay, well, which one you want?
All of them.
I'm gonna get you 2. You know why? You're spoiled. And you know why you're spoiled? Because you ready, little rascal. Come on so you can help me put this stuff up there. You gonna be a big boy and help me?
Next.
The court recognizes a rather unusual situation here. It's one I certainly never encountered before and probably won't again. We have competing interests from the 2 parents of the deceased. I recognize the statement of wishes of Jeffrey Dahmer. And I'm also concerned with the issue of closure. This is a rather evil chapter in our human existence, so to speak. I believe it would be beneficial to the public and all concerned that there be closure and that this matter is resolved once and for all and we move on. Therefore, I hereby order the brain to be destroyed. I also have to say, I object to the very nature of this inquiry. When one considers an individual like the deceased, there is a temptation to try to know and know definitively why someone like Jeffrey Dahmer is what he is or was. I think there's a real danger there. There are no easy answers when it comes to someone like him. You'll never know why he did what he did. That's an uncomfortable truth, to be sure, but it's one you need to accept.
Thank you for seeing me today, Miss Yang.
Of course, and I appreciate your patience, Miss Cleveland. I realize we had to reschedule a few
7.
times. I'm sorry?
7 times. That's how many times your office rescheduled this meeting. But it's okay. Like all those times I called the cops on Duhmer, I'm used to having to be persistent.
So, Miss Cleveland, how can I help you today?
Well, I wanted to see how the progress was on the park.
The park?
The park memorial. I was told that the city was planning to turn the old Oxford Apartments on 25th into a park after it was demolished. So I wrote your office a letter saying y'all ought to make the park a memorial to Dahmer's victims. And you wrote me back a real nice letter, signed your name and everything, saying that you would look into it.
Yes, right.
So anyway, I'm here on behalf of some of the victims' families to get an update. And I walked past there the other day, and it's still a vacant lot. I mean, it's been nearly 2 years.
So I'm checking our system, and it seems we're still waiting on some permit approvals.
How long do those take?
Well, it's hard to say until Public Works finishes its safety inspection, which they can't start until the city planning department starts their inspection.
Miss Yang, all we are asking for is a damn park. That shouldn't be that hard. We're not asking you to build a Taj Mahal.
Miss Cleveland, building anything in the city, it involves a lot of red tape. I realize it's frustrating. But can I be honest? There are a lot of people here who don't want to build anything on that lot. They just as soon forget what happened.
Not everybody can forget. Y'all demolished the building, but that don't erase what happened. It only erases the victims. And all we are asking is that y'all put something on that site that honors their memory. It's the right thing to do. It's the decent thing to do. So will you please discuss this with your supervisor or whomever can do something?
Absolutely. And I will do everything in my power to help expedite that process. But from my experience, these things take time, and I'm afraid that you and the families are probably gonna have to wait a little longer.
But that's all right, Miss Yang. 'Cause I'm used to waiting. I am determined to see this through. For the victims. For the families. I ain't gonna let Jeff Dahmer and his evil be the only thing folks remember. As long as I have breath, I'll keep waiting.
episode 4.
The
I
good
mean,
boy box.
It's not going to be good by the end, but we have been really enjoying, contrary to our sadness and tears, really enjoying this so far just because they handled it with really good care, I believe. We're not in support of the kinds of people who are all like, it needs more murder and stop trying to talk about racism. No, that's what the show is about. It's about the victims.
Right, and how we got away with it so easily for so long.
That's what I'm saying, and it's rooted, a lot of it, in the racism, the homophobia, and it's a real thing. So I just had to say that because some of the people annoy me that are not getting the message here.
No.
But again, as long as you guys want to keep watching, we will. A lot coming up other than this, but episode 4, the good boy box. Man, so we've seen his capturing a couple horrible stories, a good amount of his childhood, and a little bit of backstory there. This looks to be post high school, the last episode we watched, and going on from there, which is as things start to amp up, I guess. I don't know. Let's just get into it.
The music's eerie.
Back in Bath, Ohio, 1991.
Oh, this was
after he was arrested.
Yes.
Well, after he was arrested, he talked a lot. So
I believe this is part of the femur.
I mean, maybe
So
maybe
remains
they
they found in
found
your dad's backyard, they corroborate your story about that first victim.
Oh, so they did find some remains?
Why did you scatter the bones around?
I tried smashing the bones, but the insides were wet. You know, couldn't smash them.
Bone marrow?
Put them in the oven to
hydrate them.
But why scatter the bones around the entire yard?
I think I just wanted him to still be around.
They've been very consistently pointing this all out about the don't leave stuff and abandonment.
I do think I was born like this.
And there it is.
Like, I don't think there was something that happened that made me like this.
I watched an interview clip that he said.
This?
Like, it's not parenting. It's just how I was born.
I want to do it again for a while. 9 years.
9 years. Well, it's kind of what we touched on just at the end of the last episode. Like, as we said, I think he was born this way, and then you think of could a better environment have helped him suppress it more, forever even?
I liked how the organs looked when I held them.
Hey, that's my least favorite part.
I shined to them.
God, I don't do.
It's called swankinophilia. When someone finds viscera, internal organs sexually arousing.
What?
Never knew that.
Men in particular, we tend to like our object shiny. There's a sexual aspect to it as well. How did you wait those 9 years in between? Or why?
I was trying to be a good boy.
Congratulations, everybody, by the way. You're the cream of the crop, huh?
Thanks. Such great work, everybody.
Oh, he just
What
sneak in.
the fuck? How did he get in there?
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I read about that too, and they blacked him out. Yeah.
What?
Just straight up blacked him out.
Evan Peters portraying him like as a high school age versus like the later him getting caught and everything. Like you could see it's like such a different person still. Like it's crazy.
Are you going home?
Jeez. This house looks like a tornado. Wait it.
Yeah, Dad, you've been gone for 3 fucking months. Mom's been gone for 3 months too.
Well, when did she leave?
3 months ago.
It's always been the same with her. The only
Bro,
person
you
she's
didn't
ever
call
thought
for
of
3
was
months
herself.
either, though.
Shut up.
And here she's honestly, it's criminal. That she would do that. God damn it.
Although I guess she did literally just win custody.
That's true.
You've been drinking.
A
I
lot.
saw the empty cans.
Do you care? I'm your mom.
You're right, Jeff. I'm not your mom, but I love your father, which means I love you, okay?
This is awkward.
Well, what about community college?
Community college, that's like for failures.
No.
Rude. I went to community college.
Oh.
I'm not a good kid. I don't fit in. I'm weird. I'm different.
Aside from the murder, thus far he wasn't different.
No, I'm serious, Dad. There's things that I want to do, and
Oh yeah, that does make him different.
I think I should tell you about some of the fantasies that I've
Okay,
had.
so is this sex stuff you're talking about?
Part of it.
You know what? Hey, I'm sorry. Ohio State. We're gonna get you into Ohio State.
Listen to your kids.
Right.
I think that sounds good.
Good.
That dude majors in fitness.
All the money we gave you to come here, and now I got a call from the dean.
Jeff's GPA is a 0.45.
Jesus. I feel like you have to try to do that bad.
Jeff has been expelled. You're going in the fucking army.
God, everything sucks in this show.
Everything what?
Everything sucks. Every person
look at
sucks.
that.
Look at him.
Obviously, this
Who
guy
is that?
sucks. Parents suck. Cops
That's
suck.
not-
I trained to be a medical specialist, so I'll be probably
Probably doing like combat medic stuff. Medic specialist, you hear that?
Medications that ensure adequate rest and recovery.
Sorry, what?
Which one was it again? What was the name?
Halcyon.
You fitting in? Making friends? Oh yeah.
Experimenting with drugging people. Anyone? Was this after he was discharged for drinking?
Hey, get your ass out of the car.
I think
Is
so.
this when he like, Dad, can I come home?
I think he's getting dropped off at
Grandma's.
Grandma's, right?
Grandma, what's in this box?
What do you need a box for?
I don't even have any memories like that to put in the box. Got a screw loose up here or something.
Jeff Duhmer, you look at me. There isn't a thing wrong with you that we can't fix. I think we just need to find a nice girl, that's all.
Granny, that's not gonna help. Apparently Jeffrey Dahmer was very self-aware all those years.
The alcohol, the keeping to yourself and stewing in your own thoughts. Those are temptations, Jeff. If you came back to church, it would help you understand and resist those temptations.
I don't know about all that, but
What kind of temptation, Grandma?
definitely not good to be alone in your thoughts. Grandma seems too nice compared to everybody.
Pay attention. Gotta cut off his thumb. So I need someone who's serious.
I've met quite a few people missing fingers in the restaurant industry.
You gotta look nice, even you in back. You in nice clothes, okay?
A dress shirt, even in the back.
Okay, just leave the sheets outside my door.
This is where she like.
For the last episode, I cut it. It so abruptly cut away from this last time. I didn't even think about what her reaction's gonna be like. Your disappointment.
Don't tell me until you tell me where it is.
What do you have that for, Jeff? Do you have no feelings for...
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Because if you did, we could go to church and pray about it because the Lord Jesus Christ can do a...
Where is my fucking medicine? I told you not to go to fucking town
I don't think it's helping! I threw it away.
Oh, God.
You know how you talk to your grandma?
God damn it! God fucking damn it!
Bye. And I was all over her grandma's side till the homophobic side of her came out.
Pray the gay way. Oh, that was awkward.
The state fair is coming up.
Where's the beer tin?
Oh, God. Old Milwaukee beer.
Hi, Jeff. You're alive.
Oh, we see him.
Yeah.
No, the fuck. Old Milwaukee beer.
Hi, Jeff. You're alive.
Oh, we see him.
Yeah.
No, the fuck. Well, I think we found out why he's a sex offender.
Yeah.
No, get out!
This dude understands.
Jeff, I heard what happened at the state fair. I can't have you in here.
Everybody heard about that.
He might actually be a little overqualified for this position.
Well, you look at my record.
Right, that happened last
Oh, no, I got the job.
Fucking
Cool.
doctor? Or a blood...
Plasma, I said. I thought.
Used to do this all the time. Get my blood drawn. That's how I got my beer money. Did so much they told me I couldn't do it anymore.
Things I would never want somebody putting
Right.
needles in me to tell me.
This new job is working out. Medical? Huh? He's angry about you getting arrested.
A misdemeanor.
You think?
$70 fine.
Did they say a misdemeanor?
$70 fine.
But that's behind you now.
Man, I used to have a bunch of those TV trays
Well, I
growing
used
up.
to have
Oh, no. This dude just won't stop. So gross. That's like my literal nightmare. Like,
Told
oh, no!
you!
I know what I'm saying. I hate it.
Let's go do something. You and me.
We're gonna
Bathhouse
be
is.
oh.
Talked about. Wait.
What just happened? Oh. Okay. You guys can't see any of this.
You mind if we just lay down there on the bed?
I was gonna say, obviously it's like a mannequin.
Where are you going? It's in 3. One room.
You become a regular. What do you want to do?
Take your shirt off.
Something bad gonna happen in one of these encounters, or is this just him
No idea.
finally experiencing? It's almost like a club.
Yeah.
Like feeling like, you know, got the working out the saunas, the private rooms, the bars.
He said to me, and he just leaves it.
He's drugging him.
Don't let him back in.
No, they won't.
You should run away from this guy right now. He brings guys in here and he drugs them. Get the fuck out of my dad's house.
Run.
Wait. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't do anything. Get your fucking hands off me.
Your father's thrown up his hands, and that's real hard for you. There's another father who'll never let you down. The Heavenly Father.
I believe in God.
Take that back.
Hey, Dad. I don't think I can afford this. Why don't you just stay in the bathhouse?
This place is dirty. Last time when I got gas, this was.
How do you get after this? Probably alive. Does he have money?
Oh, that's so hard to drug himself.
Did he?
I hope he does.
Did he?
Oh, did he?
Did he? It looks like he did. Yep. Good.
I'll make another. Get his diet right.
Is he really trying to fight through drug
I love diet
so
right.
he can drug your grandma?
My grandma loved diet right. For the puke?
No, he's trying to.
You solemnly swear all the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please be seated. Then, sir, would you tell us your name and
Troy.
spell your last name for us?
Tracy Edwards, EDWARDS.
Mr. Edwards, you're going to ask you to speak up very loudly into the microphone. I would like to know in what state do you reside at the present time?
Louisiana.
And how old are you, sir?
32.
32? And you are single?
Yes.
You were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on July the 22nd, 1991?
Yes.
And at or about that time, on that late afternoon, did you have occasion to see a person that you knew at that time or subsequently learned was a fellow by the name of Jeffrey Duhmer?
Yes.
And you know that Mr. Duhmer you're speaking about is the defendant in this case to my right, correct?
Yes.
And that made a record I showed the identification.
Sir, would you indicate where Mr. Duhmer is seated in the courtroom?
It's over there.
Right in the middle between my two associates?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
The record should reflect the defendant's been identified.
Now, Mr. Edwards, you and I met for the first time last evening.
Yes.
And you came up from Louisiana at my request with your attorney.
Right.
Mr. Saeed, S-Y-E-D, Salet, S-A-L-E-T.
That's correct.
And you came up here to testify to the events, as you recall them, that occurred on the late afternoon, early evening, early morning hours of July the 22nd and the morning of July the 23rd, 1991.
That's correct.
So that you know, Mr. Edwards, your name is known to the jury because there has been testimony concerning what happened to you and at the apartment of Mr. Duhmer. You understand?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Where did you know Mr. Duhmer by name prior to that date?
I've seen him a couple of times before then. I didn't know his name personally.
All right. Did you ever talk to him before that date?
I was speaking to him, saying hello as he passed by. Yeah.
Just casual, friendly hellos?
Hellos, yeah.
Where was it that you saw him in the late afternoon, early morning hours of July the 22nd?
Grand Avenue Mall.
And that was in Milwaukee,
Correct.
downtown on Wisconsin Avenue.
Wisconsin, correct.
Were you with somebody or were you alone?
A couple other friends, yeah.
Okay, so the record is absolutely clear. You are not a homosexual, are you?
No, not at all.
Oh. So you were with a couple of your buddies, were you?
That's correct.
And what were you doing?
We was drinking beer, just talking, hanging out, you know.
About 6 o'clock at night, was it?
Yeah, about 6:15, whatever.
Did you have occasion then to see Mr. Dahmer?
Yeah, he approached us eventually and started talking to us, yeah.
Were you 3 black males?
Yeah, one white, 2 black males.
So you're friends?
Yeah, my best friend was white, yeah.
When he came up and started talking to you, what is it that Mr. Dahmer said to you?
He said he was just in the city from Chicago. He was taking care of her sick grandmother, I believe, in West Dallas. Yeah.
And did he have any further conversation with you and your friends?
Yeah, he was just talking. He said he was a professional photographer. He usually pays people for pictures and stuff like that if anybody was interested in making money at that time.
To have to pose for pictures?
Yeah.
Did he describe the kind of pictures that you were going to be posing for if you chose to take him up on the offer?
He said nude.
Nude.
Right.
Now, after he said that to you, what did you and your friends do?
They were just talking, discussing it, you know, seeing what was going on, yeah.
And what did you end up doing? Did you remain at Grand Avenue or did you go somewhere else?
We proceeded from there. He said he was going to buy all his guys beer, rum, and coke, you know, watch videos or something like that.
Rum and coke, did you say?
Yeah, we went to the liquor store in Wisconsin Avenue, 7th and Wisconsin Avenue.
So you walked from Grand Avenue down to 7th and Wisconsin?
Yeah, up, so to speak. Yeah, between 5th and 6th, 7th, something like that.
Okay, the general area of 6th or 7th in Wisconsin. Right. Was it going to be the 3 of you and Mr. Dahmer were going to stay together, or was it agreed upon that one or others of you were going to go with Mr. Dahmer? Or was there no agreement?
They were going to meet up with us eventually later on that evening.
Meet up with who?
Jeffrey at his apartment, but he gave them the wrong address at that time.
Okay, so did you, the 3 of you and your 2 friends and Mr. Dahmer, walk down to a liquor store, and what happened when you got to the liquor store?
I saw my brother. We started talking. At this time, Jeff was talking to my other friends.
So you say you saw your brother. He wasn't one of the 3 that you were with?
No.
Oh, you saw him on the street?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had conversation?
Right.
Okay, did anyone go into a liquor store and buy anything?
Mr. Dahmer brought liquor. Yeah.
So he went into a liquor store?
Right.
And when he came out, who was still there?
Okay. When he came out, we were all still there.
And then what happened? Tell us what happened then.
Okay. He was talking to them. Then we were going to go up the street. I was going to go home and change and everything at this time. So we proceeded. We caught a cab at the bus station, you know.
Okay. Now, what was your plan as you were in front of that liquor store after Mr. Dahmer came out with the liquor and you had been talking to your brother? What was your plan? What were you going to do? You say you were going to go home and change clothes?
Yeah, eventually I was going to go over there, you know, and maybe check out what he was talking about making the money at that time.
So your interest was in making some money?
Right.
Did he tell you how much you would be paid if you did pose for him?
He said $100 for it.
You had no idea, did you, that this was for any homosexual
No,
content?
he didn't come across like that. And he didn't even act like it at that time.
Okay. So now your friends are still there, and you're going to go home and you order a cab for the over at the bus depot. What happens? Tell us what happened.
Okay. And then we go. Me and Duhmer, my friends say they're going to go and change and call up the girls, and we'll meet up later on. You know.
Was there an address given as to where you were going?
He gave them some address that wasn't correct.
You later found that out?
Right, from my friends. Yeah.
What happened then? Who else remained there when this was all transpired? Just you and Mr. Dahmer, or you, Mr. Dahmer, and others?
After it all had transpired, it was me and Mr. Dahmer in the cab. You know, leaving.
You met up at about 6 o'clock, 6:15. What time is it now? At this time?
It's maybe 6:30 as we get to 26th in Wisconsin.
So you stop at 26th in Wisconsin, and what happens there?
Okay, we get out the cab then, and then he suggested he go to the store and get cigarettes before he went to his apartment.
And after he did that, did you go to his apartment?
Yeah.
What route?
Through the alleys, through the back way.
Was there any discussion as to why you were taking that route?
Said it was safer, people wouldn't bother us or whatever.
At the time that you were walking with him towards his apartment, what was your plans on doing when you got to the apartment?
Really drinking the beer, I wasn't really sure if I was going to pose or not, you know. Yep, I wasn't really sure at that point.
You at least were contemplating maybe you would?
Yeah, I was going to make up my mind once I got there, whatever, you know.
Were you in need of money?
Yeah, I just started working, and the offer sounded good at that time.
Okay. Now, when you got to his apartment, how was he acting? Tell us about his, tell me about his demeanor. You know what I mean by that, Mr. Edwards? How was he acting?
Just like a normal, everyday person, you know, friendly, good conversationalist. He was talking about the military, things of that nature. Yeah.
Had you been in the military?
My father retired in the Air Force, so I've been to several different bases. I was born on an Army base in Fort Carson.
And that's the kind of thing you were talking to?
It's like a family thing, you know, so I know a lot about it.
Had he been drinking alcohol?
Yeah, I consumed some. He was drinking beer at the time.
Well, the time that you were like going to his apartment, was he intoxicated?
No.
Had he been drinking?
Yeah, I've been drinking a couple of beers.
How about you? Were you intoxicated?
No, not at all.
Did you had something to drink?
I sipped maybe a little beer, my friend's beer, that was it.
All right, now you get to the apartment. You go in the back way?
Yes, correct.
You went up to the apartment. Tell us what happens when you get up to the apartment. Tell us what you observed, what your senses told you.
Okay, first of all, it seemed like a normal apartment. When we got inside, he turned off burglar alarms. I asked him why. First, it was a foul odor, okay?
Tell us about that. What kind of odor?
It was just like an odor. I didn't quite know what it was. You know, he told me a sewer pipe had broke and management would take care of it. Yeah.
And did you accept that?
Yes, because I worked around at construction companies before, and when pipes bust, sewer pipes bust, they smell. You know?
Okay.
So I brought that.
So you say the first thing he did was notice the odor. He opened the door to the apartment?
Yes.
And you walked in?
Yes.
He turned off something. What did he turn off?
Alarms.
Did you ask him about that?
Yeah, and he said the part of the neighborhood he was in, he was protecting his property, things like that, cameras, VCRs, TVs, things of that nature.
Did you accept that?
Yes, I did.
After getting in the apartment, can you generally describe the apartment, both the apartment that you saw then and the apartment that you saw, the other parts of the apartment you saw? Tell the jury what the apartment was like.
It was like
Normal, pretty decent apartment, had nice things in it. You know, had certain boxes sitting on the front, neurotic acid boxes. I asked him about it. He said he cleaned bricks with those. You know, which you can use that type of acid to clean bricks, so I brought that also.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you just said. You asked him about some boxes?
Yeah, that were laying in the front living room floor.
And what did he tell you about those?
That he cleaned brick with neurotic acid.
Okay. Now, was the apartment small, large, medium? What, give us a size.
Kind of medium size, yeah.
Right, now, when you went in there, you went in, as you entered, were you in the living room?
Yes.
And what was the living room? What did you see in there? The boxes you told us about?
The boxes, there's a couch, there's a fish tank there also, a black lamp. Yeah, there was a little table-like on the left side.
Could you see a refrigerator?
Yeah, I could see the refrigerator on my left.
Was it close to the living room?
Yeah, maybe 8 feet from the living room.
So it was just off the living room?
Right.
Now, did you stay in that room, or did you go to another room right away?
We stayed in that room for a while.
And where did you sit, if you did?
Okay, at the end of the sofa like I am now, this is a sofa. I was at this end, and he was at the side.
Referring to the jury, I mean, the witness box, if that were a sofa, he would be at that end. That is the end where he's seated on the witness stand, which would be the part closest to the judge. Is that right?
That's correct.
And where did Mr. Duhmer, what did he do?
He sat like here, maybe a couple feet from me.
Not close to you?
Maybe 2 feet.
You in fear of anything at that time?
Not at all.
Okay, and what did the two of you do?
Okay, he said we were still talking, chatting, you know. He asked me was I interested in doing the photography. You know, I told him I was still contemplating, so therefore he offered me a beer and a rum and coke mixture at that point.
Now, you're fully clothed.
Yes.
Okay, and you're sitting on a couch.
Right.
And he talks to you about this posing, and you weren't sure you were going to do it.
Right.
How much had you been offered to do the posing?
$100.
Okay, and when he brings you the beer, he brings you rum and coke?
Yeah, he brings the beer first, and then he brings the rum and coke.
How big of a glass?
Maybe that big.
About 4 inches high?
About 4 inches, yeah, 3.5, something like that.
Did you ever taste it?
Yeah, I took a few sips.
Was it strong, weak, medium, or just about right?
I'm not a big liquor drinker, so it didn't taste that good to me either.
Didn't taste good to you? You don't know if it was strong or not?
It's strong or not, no.
What did Mr. Duhmer do? Did he likewise have a drink?
No, I think, yeah, right, a beer, but I don't think he drank all of his drink at that time.
Did he have any rum with him?
I just noticed the beer, right.
What time are we talking about now that you're sitting on the couch and you get the beer? You got over there about what time, and how long after this?
It was about before 7, quarter to 7, something like that.
So you're sitting on the couch, he brings you beer and rum and coke, what happens?
Okay, then we just started talking and everything, you know.
General talk?
General talk.
What happens?
Yeah, then I was just, I don't know, getting a little agitated maybe, you know, because of the smell and things, and then he threw my conversation off talking about the fish in the fish tank, you know.
Okay, when you start talking about the fish in the fish tank, do you bring that up or does he?
He does.
And what do you do when he does that?
I turn to the right, like the fish tank is here, I'm turning all the way over here.
You turn to your right to look at it?
To look at the fish tank, right.
And when that happens, what happens to you?
All of a sudden a handcuff and a knife is pulled on me. Yeah.
Handcuff is placed on your body? Where?
On my left wrist.
And you see a knife?
Yeah, the knife, yeah.
Now, at that moment, what do you do?
First, I feel fear, then I ask him what's going on. You know, this is not necessary, you know, to pull a knife on me.
Are you afraid?
Yes.
Do you have any reason to know why he did that?
None whatsoever.
Did you have any idea at that time it was going to happen?
No.
Tell me about his demeanor at that time when you looked and realized he had a knife and you in a cuff. You were only cuffed on one wrist.
One wrist, yeah.
What was happening to the other part of the handcuff?
Okay, he had it in his hand.
He was holding it?
Holding that in the wrist, yeah.
Where was the knife? In the other hand?
The knife was like he had here. The knife was in his hand. He had it on me like this.
Let the record reflect he was holding the knife in his right hand as he showed it, holding the cuff in his left hand. Is that right? And your left hand is cuffed.
Yeah.
Where do you have the knife? What kind of a knife was it?
It was like a military knife, a machete of some type. Yeah, right up under my rib cage. You know, like
so you had
it somewhere in the back here.
You had it pointed at your rib cage?
Yeah.
Did you feel it?
Yeah, he had it on me. He had it against my body.
What happened? What was going through your mind the moment that happened when you realized you had a knife at your side and a handcuff on your hand? What did you think?
I think, like, you know, what's going on, you know? This guy's so nice, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like he was pulling knives and handcuffs and all on me, you know?
What'd you do? What'd you say to him?
I asked him what the problem was, you know, that it's not necessary to do this, you know?
What'd he say?
He told me at that point if I wouldn't do what he said, he would kill me. Yeah.
Now, tell us about his demeanor at the time that you look at him and you say, what's going on? You don't have to do this. What happens to Mr. Duhmer? What's he like?
It's like not the same person that we met at Grand Avenue Mall.
How does he different?
His face structure seemed different, you know, his body structure is like it wasn't him anymore, you know? It's like it was a totally different guy here.
So he told you if you didn't do what he told you to do, he'd hurt you?
He'd hurt me.
What'd you do? What happened? Tell us what happened step by step as best you can.
And then all of a sudden he kind of calms down, you know, and then he said he has a key in the bedroom, so we proceed to the bedroom.
The key to the handcuffs?
Right.
So you believe he was going to take him off?
Yeah, at that point I had to go along with this guy, you know, and then if I had to find out, so I walked back there with him, he kind of guides me back there, you know.
Guides you back with the cuff and the knife?
Yeah, right.
And you go into the bedroom?
Right.
What do you see in the bedroom?
A big, about 50, 60 gallon drum barrel, whatever.
Did you ever see a 50, 60 drum barrel in anybody's bedroom before?
Not at all.
Do you have any idea? Did you ask him what it was?
No, at that point I asked no questions at that time.
Was there a bed in that room?
Yes.
How was the bed? Was it made, unmade? It
was unmade.
What did you see on the bed, if anything?
Something like a stain or whatever, yeah, on the bed.
What did you think it was?
At that point in time I wasn't sure.
What did you do when you got in the bedroom as he's holding onto the cuff and the knife? What did you do?
Studied us talking, trying to be friends with him. You know.
Did you remain standing? Did you sit down?
He made me sit down at that point. We both sit on the bed. Right.
Was it at the foot of the bed, the side of the bed, head of the bed?
Maybe halfway between.
Did that room have a TV set in it?
Yes.
Was there anything going on the TV?
Yeah, the Exorcist movies was playing at that time.
There was an Exorcist movie on?
Yeah.
You know which one of them?
The name I'm not sure. I think it's 3. I'm not sure which one.
So there was a movie. Did you know it to be part of television or VCR?
VCR. Normally that's not on regular television, so I thought it was VCR.
You knew there was a movie show?
Right.
Did you see him put it on, or was it on?
No. When we first got into the apartment, he went through the back to the back bedroom. Maybe he put it on then. I'm not sure.
Okay. And then what happened? You're both sitting on the bed?
Yes.
Are you still in handcuffs?
Yes.
Is he holding the handcuff?
Right.
Do you still have the knife?
Right.
Is it pointed at your side as you told us before?
Right.
You trying to be cool?
Very much so.
You're not fighting with him?
No.
What's your intention? What are you planning on doing?
Getting away. I was contemplating on that point, jumping out the window. You know, I was basically talking with this person, trying to let him know I was his friend. Yeah.
As you were sitting there on the bed, when he had you by the handcuff and a knife at your side, at that time, which would have been maybe 7 o'clock?
Something like that.
What impression was made upon your mind by the conduct, action, manner, expression, and conversation that you observed of Mr. Duhmer?
His frame of mind is what you want to know, right? Okay, he acted. At times he would go through like different changes with me, you know.
Tell us about that.
One minute he's like nice, then he was telling he didn't want people to leave him or abandon him, things of this nature, you know. Yeah.
Well, what did you think about him as a person? What impression was made on your mind of this fellow that you're dealing with here?
Yeah, that at times he wasn't himself, and then at times he was like a nice guy, you know. He would come and go different times, you know, throughout the whole time. Then he would like sit, being quiet at times, watching the movie, wanting me to watch the movie, you know, and just doing little tanning sounds, you know.
Did you observe him watching the movie and how he would react to the movie?
Right, he would like to start rocking back and forth when you know, certain parts of the movie or whatever.
You have to say, what did he say, man?
It was like chanting in certain times and rocking back and forth. Right?
Tell us about his chanting. What was that all about?
I'm not even sure, sir, but it was just like, I can't tell you the words. I couldn't understand what he was saying at that time.
Can you mimic him? How it sounded?
It was like a slow slur, like some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
And how about the movement back and forth? How was that being effectuated?
Just like back and forth, he would do it every now and then.
Just as you are rocking in your chair?
Like this.
And chanting?
And chanting.
Was there any parts of the movie that was going on that you saw that he said anything about?
It was like the part about the preacher. There used to be a preacher that had got possessed. And that it would seem like he was like interested in that part. That part had his attention more than anything. You know?
Well, tell us about what you mean by that. What impressions were made upon your mind when this was going on as to had his attention? How did he appear to you?
It appeared like it was like he wanted to mimic it or be like that part, you know, being demonized or whatever in that nature.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Yeah, like he wanted that type of movie, that part, certain parts of that part interested him. You know, it was like he changed with it. At times then he would get more aggressive, try to get me to handcuff myself, both hands, and he told me it made him feel more dominant.
Okay, did you and he move off of the bed at any time?
Yes, he wanted me to lay flat down, stomach down on the floor at that time.
Did you at any time go to the bathroom, use the washroom, prior to the time that he asked you to lay down on the floor?
No.
All right, tell us what happened how did that happen that he told you to lay down on the floor?
He told me to lay down face down, put both of my hands behind my back, because he changed again at that point, like he got more aggressive at that time.
Okay, now, but tell us, did he still have the knife out?
Yes, he still had the knife.
And what did you do?
Okay, I kind of like laid on my sides. For some reason, I guess God told me not to lay flat down or let this person handcuff me, so I didn't.
So you were trying to stop that from happening, but you got down on the floor.
Right.
What did he do?
He kind of laid across me, put his head across my chest at that point.
What was he doing with his head?
Pardon me?
What did it appear to you he was doing with his head? What was he trying to do?
Like he was listening to my heart, because at the point he told me he was going to eat my heart at that point.
Said he was going to eat your heart?
Yes, that's correct.
Did he still have the knife?
Yeah.
Where was the knife pointed?
When I was on the floor, he had it pointed at my groin area at that time.
One knife?
He had several, and then he slid when I managed to slide one underneath the bed. I guess during a point in time through an ordeal, he didn't know where the knife was, so I didn't know if he felt that was a threat or not.
So he still had a knife, you're on the floor. How long does he lay on top of you trying to hear your heart as you've described it?
Maybe a minute and a half.
And then what did you do then?
I knew something was about to happen, so I suggested that I go to the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom.
And what did he do?
He kind of guided me to the bathroom.
So when you say guided, you still had hold of your handcuff?
Yes.
And you went to the bathroom?
Right.
Did you urinate?
Yeah.
Were you able to utilize your own zipper, or did he touch you at all?
Touched me in no way. Didn't attempt to look. He just held me in back. You know.
So in other words, he didn't try to look at what your penis looked like or
not at all.
So after urinating, did you think that you were going to be the victim of, did he ask to engage in any homosexual acts with you?
None whatsoever.
Okay, so now you leave the bathroom and what happens?
Okay, then we go back into the bedroom. You know. It was like different time spans. We were talking about him losing his job. Then he would come to the person that I was first with, you know. And then at certain points he would change. You know, at first he was telling me about how people didn't care for him and things of this nature. And I was trying to comfort him, letting him know that I was a friend. You know, that I wasn't going to try to run away from him or nothing like that.
You were being cool.
I guess God, you can say that, because I had no control. It was this. I don't know.
Did this continue on for a long period of time during the night?
Yes, apparently so. Time seemed to, I don't know. But I stayed in there that long, so it had to be going on throughout the whole ordeal, which it was. So time just, it happened like that.
And all this time you're trying to hold him down?
Yeah, certain points, right.
How often would he go in and out of these moods?
Sorry, the time spans I couldn't really tell you, but like he would like, I guess if you want to put it together in time, every 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, you know. And then he would have moods of being just silent, you know. And I wouldn't say anything, try to provoke him or say the wrong thing. I would be silent with him.
Okay. So you just let him be alone. Was that movie on the whole time, a long time?
It was on a pretty good period of time, yeah. And when it went off, I couldn't tell you.
Did he continue to chant from time to time?
Yes, it happened several times throughout the ordeal.
Now, when he would watch the movie, did you notice when he would go into this thing that you told us where he would really become fixed on the movie screen? What was happening? How often would that happen?
Throughout the movie, maybe every 15 or 20 minutes, and then he would turn around and try to ask me to put both of my hands behind my back, and I wouldn't, you know, do it. I would talk to him. I told him, you can trust me, you know, you don't have to do this, and that would calm him down a little bit.
He had the knife the whole time?
Right.
He's watching the movie and he becomes very interested in the movie.
Right.
You don't do anything, just sit there.
Yeah, sit there and be quiet.
And then he would start conversation with you again.
Yeah, he was like you don't have to do this and that, you know. Then he told me at a point I was gonna have to kill him, or either he was gonna have to kill me at one point.
Were you and he drinking during this time?
No.
So he wasn't running out, bringing you out and getting beers and coming back?
No, I would have been out the window at that point.
Sure. Did he, when he was fixed, I'm trying to get some words to understand, was he intoxicated?
He had been drinking, but as far as being intoxicated, he was not staggering or anything of that nature.
But you know that some people, when they have too much to drink, change their moods. Was that the kind of mood changes he was having, or a different kind of mood change?
I think this was like more of an inner mood change than an alcoholic mood change.
What kind of mood?
It's like
inner mood?
Yeah, person change, not alcohol change.
What did you think about this guy? What was going through your mind as to who you were sitting next to, who was doing all these things?
A bizarre individual, someone that was very confused at this time.
Now, there came a time when you went to the washroom again?
Right, I suggested, yeah, because he had started getting aggressive a little bit again. I suggested go to the bathroom. He let me stay in there by myself while he stayed outside the door at that time.
And what happened then?
And then I told him, well, I was contemplating, I was asking God, shall I make my move now? And I was going to just jump out the window. But when I got out, for some reason, I asked, could I have another beer? Yeah.
And what did he do?
And he reaches over, he guides me over and reaches in and get a beer.
He still got you on the cuff?
Yeah, and then he tells me, I told him I want to sit in the front because it's air conditioning. And I was just going to try to jump out the window or go for the door or whatever. And because the back bedroom didn't have air conditioning, only in the front. So I suggested we sit on the couch. I had unbuttoned my shirt to try to make him feel more at ease. And then I just sat on the couch and he just started going out of himself again. Yeah.
Going out of himself?
Yeah, he was like paying me no attention at that time.
Like he wasn't there?
So yeah, he started the chanting again, and it's like the sitting there, and then I just, for some reason, I said, well, I need to go to the bathroom again, and he didn't follow me at that point. So I reached up, I got up, and then I got hit him, and I ran out.
So you hit him?
Right.
Did you have any other belongings there?
I had my bag right there at the end of the couch. I sit in exactly the same place I sit when I went in there.
So when you got up, he let go of your cuff to let you go to the bathroom again?
He just let me stay there. I was going to go for the window. At that point, he didn't even have the cuff. It's like I wasn't even there anymore.
And when you saw that, what'd you do?
I just seized the opportunity. I said, well, at least I'm going to die trying. I'm not just going to sit here.
What'd you do, son?
I hit him, and I ran towards the door, and he was right there, tried to grab me, get me back in there.
And what happened?
Then I made it outside.
So he wasn't able to bring you back in?
Bring me back in there, no.
He tried?
He tried.
And as you left that apartment, as you got away from him, I'm going to ask you again, what impressions were made on your mind by the conduct of Jeffrey Dahmer, by the actions of Jeffrey Dahmer, by the manner, expressions, and conversations of Jeffrey Dahmer that you observed? Can you give us some words?
It's like I told the policeman that this freak, this crazy guy, was trying to hurt me. Yeah.
Did you run out of the building?
Yes, I did.
Did you summon help?
Yes.
Milwaukee Police Department?
That's correct.
Did they come back there with you to the apartment?
Right.
Did you eventually go back into the apartment with the Milwaukee police officers?
Yes.
And then he was arrested?
Right.
You gave a statement to the Milwaukee police a few hours later?
Yeah, I guess you could say a few hours, yeah.
Mr. Edwards, through your lawyer, I had you come to Wisconsin to testify.
That's correct.
Other than your expenses, you're not being paid anything, correct? Is that true?
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McCann, how long do we anticipate the cross-examination of this witness?
I'd say at least half an hour, Your Honor.
Okay. That being the case, I think it's appropriate that we take a recess at this time. About 15 minutes. Court's in recess.
All right, please.
The #1 show on Netflix this weekend was the mini-series on murderer Jeffrey Dahmer. The film reopens some old wounds for some of Dahmer's victims. And as Amber Cogliano reports, some say the impact of the movie is heightened by the incredible resemblance between the real-life killer and the actor who portrays him.
It's the face of evil, reborn. These are scenes from the new Netflix drama about serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer.
You're gonna make me do things I don't want to do.
Actor Evan Peters plays the infamous cannibal killer. This is the actor, and this is the monstrous Dahmer. Dahmer, a chocolate factory worker, lured unsuspecting young men to his Milwaukee apartment where he drugged and strangled them. He dismembered his victims and ate their body parts. Dahmer's bloody history finally came to an end when a young man he had targeted for death escaped the killer's apartment and alerted cops. Dahmer was arrested and confessed to 17 killings.
I knew I was sick or evil or both.
At his sentencing, the disgust he inspired in one victim's sister erupted. Inside Edition aired a world-exclusive interview with Dahmer in 1993 at the maximum security prison where he was serving 999 years.
Eating of the heart and the arm muscle. It was a way of making me feel that they were a part of me.
Now the new Netflix series is bringing memories of Dahmer's vile deeds flooding back. Preston Davis narrowly escaped death at Dahmer's hands when they were in the Army together, and Dahmer sexually assaulted him. Davis, now 63, has watched the Netflix series.
How was that for you watching?
I think they did a good job. It didn't trigger me. I've gotten better through therapy. I felt more sympathy or empathy for the victims' families.
Billy Joe Capshaw was also sexually assaulted by Dahmer in the Army.
Does it bring back all of these horrible memories?
Yes, it does. I have been through hell because of this one person. I'm gonna keep the language clean.
The woman who vented her anger on Dahmer watched the show's recreation of that moment and says, "It felt like reliving it all over again. It brought back all the emotions I was feeling back then." In our 1993 interview, Dahmer made this confession.
There's no question that I deserve the death penalty.
In a sense, he got his way. He was bludgeoned to death by another prison inmate in 1994. But in the Netflix series, he lives again.
Dahmer was 34 years old when he was killed in prison.
From handmade paper and sacred metal mirrors in India, to soy sauce fermented in 100-year-old barrels in Japan, and bells forged at the world's oldest foundry in Italy. We got an inside look at family businesses and artisans around the globe to see how their centuries-old traditions are still standing.
The custom of making a drug goes back 5,000 years. It's a unique form of block printing, and it's